love will be shared by two that will travel a straight and narrow what? Path. And it is inevitable that one day they will reach and hit a force field called a wall that will cause the two of them to have to make an adjustment in what? Direction. Taking on yet two what?
Paths.
More. That's like you get a new wife, she get a new what? You follow me? Like in other words, why? Because if not, the individual self will be lost, listen, by being absorbed by, listen, the partner. Because the two will become what?
One.
You see? And then the individual self will cease to live. Thereby it dies, is what the squares were what?
Thinking.
Saying. Yeah. And then they said, listen, that in order for individualism to be maintained, an adjustment in direction would be a mandatory. And if they are to be right as opposed to what? Wrong, they would have to turn to the what? Right. At a right 90-degree what? Angle. Watch. Because all things must come to a what? End. And then the necessity for the two to take on two what? More would then be in existence. Because that way individualism, listen, is still made whole.
Gotcha.
Which sounded logical.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, their political view is not one that is void of total logic. But what is a lie? How does a lie exist? A lie has to be supported by 3 or 4 what? Half-truths. Yeah. If it holds no element of truth, the minute it was told, everyone would know it was a what?
A lie.
Okay, you understanding that?
Right.
So again, they are in manifest error because the all ready is. There's only one what? All.
Yeah, one all.
So, for the one to be absorbed by the other, that is a part of the natural order of what?
Things. Exactly.
To try to disturb that would be in manifest what?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they should have thought from the beginning, if the one was being absorbed by the what? Other.
Yeah, the other.
Right?
Yeah.
Then that's the natural order of what?
Things.
Because if that wasn't the natural order of things, they should have asked themselves, then why is it happening? You see? But to show you how they were in manifest error, they refused to accept something that was happening, ready, naturally.
I see.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Now, what? So they tried to disturb divine order, right? What?
Right there.
By, listen, choosing to make stand individualism. And it was never intended for individualism to stand. Individualism is only known, listen, at the start. And then it is quickly forgotten. Because you cannot win standing in a state of division amongst your what? Selves. So individualism only, listen, began when the lights came what?
Came on.
That's when everybody realized, excuse me, that's when those who supported the square thought that they were separate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you understanding what I'm trying to say? Because they were burning pure white what?
White light.
While
Right.
we were burning every color of the what?
Rainbow. Spectrum. Mm-hmm.
Now watch. So, this is what caused them to think in terms of separatism from the what?
The first place, yeah.
The start. Because they didn't realize that the absence of color was also a necessity for color to what?
Exist.
Because everything has its what?
Yes.
Its place in the natural order of what? Things. But what they wanted to do is disturb the natural order of what?
Things.
Through a misunderstanding of their very what? Selves. Okay? They didn't have pure knowledge of what?
Themselves. Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Because when the lights came on, bang. What they didn't even contemplate is from where it is they had just what? Come.
Mm-hmm.
As being thoughts in the all. Thoughts of the what?
Oh.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Thoughts of the what?
Oh.
All. Because, again, there's a fractal geometry right what?
Right there.
Because you have thoughts in the all and thoughts of the what?
Of the all, yeah.
So the all was thinking within its what?
Itself.
And we all are thoughts of the what?
The all.
Who inside of us have thoughts of the what?
Of the all.
Who inside of that have thoughts of the what?
The all.
Which makes up the all that we what? Ready? Are. That's why when motherfuckers start talking about save the whales.
Yeah.
And listen, if it was destined for an animal to go into extinction, then they should have left that shit what?
Yeah, alone. Yeah. So
Because when an animal's time to become extinct is in place, you don't fuck with what?
Nature.
That.
Yeah, natural process.
You see what I'm saying? So if it was meant for us not to have no more bald eagles, no more whales, then no more what? Because you're disturbing the natural balance of what?
Everything. Mm-hmm.
Now watch. Male and female created he what?
Yeah.
So 11 stands for the male and the what?
Female. Mm-hmm.
Watch. The is and the is what?
There's not.
Or the is and the is what? Not.
There's not, yeah.
Did you catch it?
Yeah.
Watch. The is or the is what?
There's not.
Or the is and the is what?
There's not.
So you have 11 over here and you have 11 over what?
Over there.
Watch. The is and the is what?
There's not.
Or the is and the is not.
There's not.
Depending upon from what vantage point you are viewing. Without question, vantage point gives you a add what?
Vantage.
If you are up, ready, high.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can look over what?
Yeah.
It. So now watch. If you are horizontal, is not. Is not. Excuse me. Watch. Is not.
Mm-hmm.
Is not. That's not a good vantage. What?
Point. No.
Is not. Is not. Easier to listen, analyze, assess, and evaluate. If you are looking, listen, at it vertically as opposed to horizontally. Because horizontally gives you only a two-dimensional view.
Right. And that's okay.
Listen,
Wow.
because nigga, if we look at a piece of paper,
Yeah.
hold that motherfucker up like this. First off, if I flip you a nickel, I say examine the nickel. You look at heads, you look at what?
The tail. Yeah. But I'm a factor in the
I
way.
could then say, have you examined the nickel in its totality? How would you respond?
I would respond by saying which side.
First off, if I flip you a nickel and I say examine the what?
The nickel.
The nickel. You look at heads.
And tails.
You look at tails. If I say from that point, have you examined the nickel in its totality? What would you say to me?
I said I have.
And I would say, no, you have what?
Not.
Because there's a center spot to the nickel that is neither heads nor what?
Tail.
That can only be viewed from the what?
The center.
The side.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, you see what I'm saying? Like, in other words, heads, tails. The side of the nickel is neither heads nor what?
Tail. Yeah.
And there's nothing written what? There. Okay, you understand?
Yeah, I understand that.
There's nothing written what?
Yeah.
So there's no data
That can be.
that can thereby identify. Listen, like in other words, there's no markings, no.
like Q on Star Trek.
It's the neutral what?
The neutral being. Neutral
Zone. There's nothing to distinguish it as being heads or what?
Tail.
So in space, what distinguishes star constellations?
They're. I don't know. I'll let you answer.
Place
Yeah.
in what?
In
Space.
space. Yeah.
Where they sit and how. This is what brought about astronomy. Because that's when we started to map. You see?
Yeah.
It all what?
All out.
And in. Because if we went out, we had to come back what?
Come back in. And
So in order to know how to get back, you had to know what you were looking what?
at. Yeah.
And in space, that's hard to what?
To do.
If you're looking at it horror what?
Horizontally.
That's why astronomy then became known as a horror what?
Horoscope.
You're not understanding why? Because it went from astronomy to astrology.
Right.
But all those people who were writing about it, they didn't have memory of taking the ride.
It's a long ride, huh?
You missing what I'm saying. Nigga, if you in space and you looking at it this way, all the stars are seen in a two-dimensional perspective. Nigga, you just seeing, I don't know how to explain it, nigga. Like, okay, if I take a fucking dime, right? And say the dime is a tube, you only gonna see the front of it.
Right.
Like, okay, a pencil. Okay, say this. In space, you only see that.
Right.
You don't see.
Right.
You see that. You don't see that.
No.
You don't see the three dimensions of it. You see,
You
look.
have to use other objects to.
You see the surface what?
The surface.
View.
Yeah.
Now watch. Look. See that? Now, if you were looking at it from up here, you would see what? That. Right? Now, but if you were looking at it from down here, would you see anything different? No.
Same thing.
Until you close the door on the floor. Because now you have, instead, okay, watch. Watch this. This is like this, right?
Right.
Now, so that's a straight. Right?
Right.
Now, to close the door on the floor would be to do this. Watch. Watch. See, in other words, the number 1 is written like what? Say this is just a straight line. The number 1 is written like what? Like this.
Right.
With a line going across there. Now, you would only see this, but you would then see this when you bring about, watch, not straight, but diagonal. Catacorner.
Yeah, so you got, okay.
Okay, if we stand on the corner and we standing here,
Obviously.
if we look to this corner, not to this one, you see, this would still produce what?
Just a two-dimensional.
That.
Yeah.
But the minute we do what? This, now we brought in yet, listen, a better vantage what? Point. Because we've established, listen, a point of what? Ready? Reference. Which is the apex, it's what?
Itself.
This is how the pyramids, nigga, were thought what? Thought out. Meaning, we had to first figure out, well, what were we what?
Looking at.
Doing,
yeah. I mean.
What was the purpose of it? Keep in mind, a stark holocaust was being what? Prevented. The planet was no longer the same what?
Same size.
Size. When you say wasn't the same size, we're talking measurement, nigga.
Right.
Why do you think I'm touching on these things? Because guess what? You that nigga.
Not to learn.
No. That said, we must build this. You're the first to bring the pyramids to the blackboard. Announcing their necessity.
It's 4-1.
Because all of it dealt with, ready, proper, ready, measurement.
Gotcha.
And watch. What is tone?
Form of measurement. I mean, it's a...
Tone is texture.
Tone.
Tone is texture.
Right.
It's tint.
Tint.
It's
hue.
Hue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I'm called cute.
Wow.
You're called Hugh. Why? Metatune. At tune.
Right.
I'm a tone carrier. So are you. But tone, listen, is more than one what? Thing.
It is.
Tone is, listen, sound, or listen, frequency that is coming through vibration sped what?
Sped up.
Sped up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they say it's not over till the fat lady what?
Sing.
Because she releases a what?
Tone.
That causes glass to what?
Break. Yeah.
So when you say causes glass to break, now you're talking about windows.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Think, nigga. Tone is also texture. That's when you talk in terms of hue, tint. You follow? Tint. That's why I keep telling you you're vibrating up to a 10
okay.
density.
Gotcha. 10.
Because when you get to fulfillment of the cycle, you go back to the cipher immediately. Because another cycle is what?
Coming.
Starting, right? That starts with the number what? 1.
Yeah.
Because, watch, 9 becomes what? 10. 10 becomes 20. 20 becomes 30.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We're talking about annual, ready, rings. Throughout the boundless universe to what? All. Now you're talking, ready? Echo. What is echo?
Echo is
sound bouncing off of
objects.
Something that comes what? Back. Is a boomeranging effect. That's what vibrating to a 10 density what? Does. That's where you get alternating what?
Current, yeah.
You see? So you're doing what? In the circle, you're doing this. Watch. You're traveling so fast, listen, that they don't perceive you to be traveling at what?
At all.
You travel the entire circumference, listen, just by the mere fact that 1 is the first what?
Number.
And every time a new cycle starts, it is inevitable that it has to return to the cipher, to the secret. And keep in mind, computer language is ones and zeros. So again, the human mind is a hologramic what?
Computer.
Mind.
Mind, yeah.
Because do you see things in your auditorium, on your screen, listen,
Mm-hmm.
with a single dimensional eye?
No.
You see them as they really what?
Really are, yeah.
Which is 3 what?
Dimension.
Dimensional. Meaning, you see, if we were to rewind the tape of time, so to say,
Mm-hmm.
and you see me and you sitting here talking right what?
Right now.
That's easy to do. Do it.
Fall back.
Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what I did.
Yeah.
That's easy to do. Now look, you can't see me and you sitting here when you close your what?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
What gives you limitation?
Doubt.
No. Behind the fact that your eyes are what?
Closed.
Open.
Mm.
That's what limits you. Because with your eyes open, you know that wall is what?
Yeah.
And you cannot go through that wall, so when you get to that wall, you will have to what?
Yeah, stop.
Stop. But when you do this, the wall's what?
Not there.
What?
Disappear.
And you can put on your screen anything you what?
See fit.
Want to.
Mm-hmm.
So we can be sitting in San Antonio, Texas, and do this. Look. And be in Vallejo. And be in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And be anywhere we what?
Want to.
So limitation is removed the minute you close your what?
Eyes.
And go to your order what? Torium. Now, auditorium. Auditorium. Remember I said look up what is a tort claim.
Sure did.
In a court of what?
Law.
Law. You should be recording this. Want to know why?
I am.
Because this is information that directly connects to
So, yeah. You. Me. Yeah.
you, nigga.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm finna study that.
Like, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Watch. Meta. Tune. Tune is tone. Tone is what? More than one what? Thing.
Yeah.
Tone is how it sounds.
Mm-hmm. And
Tone is also how it looks. I'm dealing with how things ready sound. You will be dealing with how things ready look. Because tone is also texture. How they look and what?
Feel.
Feel. That comes through touch. So tone is determined by, ready?
Feel.
Touch.
And touch, yeah.
The what? Touch.
Mm-hmm.
And it is also determined by, ready? Color or the absence there what?
Yeah.
And is color tint?
Yes. No.
if you have a color TV, you have one knob for the color.
Right.
And you have another knob for the what?
Tint.
Tint. So tint is not what?
Color.
You follow?
I follow. No.
That's when the cipher shows its what?
So.
By vibrating up to a 10 what? Density. You go from color to ready? Tint. Because it's returning. It's alternating what? Current. It's not direct what?
Current.
Color is produced through watch. Vibration that becomes frequency. Vibration, watch now, frequency is vibration sped what?
Sped up.
And when you have vibration sped up, then you will get, ready, friction. Because whatever that frequency is moving through, it is rubbing what? Against.
Exactly. And all space is filled, so.
Now why?
You're hitting something.
Even if there's nothing what?
There.
You're hitting what?
Something.
Even if it's what? Nothing.
Yeah.
You are rubbing against what? Something that is causing, listen, the sound of the what? Frequency, because it's vibrating, that becomes vibration, sped what?
Sped up.
Up. By speeding up, first off, sound does not sit what?
Still? No.
At what?
But rest. No,
At all.
I don't know.
Sound moves past the ear of the person who is being spoken what?
To. Yeah.
Sound moves what?
The person.
Things.
Yeah.
You follow me?
I got you.
Because me talking to you, my words and the sound thereof reaches your ears. Correct? But it doesn't stop what? There, because a person can be standing what?
Over there.
Behind you.
Yeah.
And hear what I'm saying what?
Too.
Also. Now, if no one's standing there, where does sound stop?
Well, they try to say it needs a medium to travel
You're
in
not
a
hearing
vacuum
me.
of space.
Sound never.
Stops, obviously.
It slows what?
Down.
Moving from watch. First, a vibration becomes frequency when vibration speeds what? Up. Now watch. Frequency becomes audible, meaning you can hear it only because of friction.
Gotcha.
Because it's moving through something that thereby is touching what? It.
Yeah.
That's creating the what? Sound of what? It. Listen. And producing color. Okay, you understand?
Yeah.
Because color comes through friction.
Right.
And each color is determined by how fast or how slow, listen, the frequency is moving, which produces, ready, fire.
I just thought it's not.
Okay, you understand what I'm trying to say?
they found the about 3 years ago they found the lowest sound in the universe. It's a black hole that's 57 octaves below middle C. I just thought about that. Wow.
57 octaves. How many keys is on a piano? 88.
88.
That's the call, what?
Twist. Twice.
Because they call the white keys major keys and the black keys minors. When it should be the other way, what?
Around.
Okay, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I understand.
Now, white is the absence of what? Color.
Yeah.
While black is all colors seen at one what?
One time.
So, they are not minor what?
Keys. At all.
You see? Because the absence and all are two different what?
Two different things. Well, but there's
now watch. The absence of numbers exists inside the what? Ready? Cipher. And numbers start with the number what?
1.
And keep in mind the computer's language is ones and what?
0.
In order for us to create Windows what?
Symbols.
You're going to have to decipher every one of those what?
Symbols.
Ciphers.
Oh.
And the only way you can do it is with the number, ready? 1. That's what enables the computer to, ready? Think. It's called the binary language. Sound familiar?
Yeah. Series B. No?
Binary
Oh, yeah.
gland. Binary language. And then you have a binary, ready? Code. Look up tort claim. What we're doing now is far more important, listen, than the writing. Because we have to rewrite, listen, it what?
Oh.
That's why the code of Hammurabi has got to be what?
Rewritten.